far as you have to take it. And if that means you even run for the school board, you run for the school board. This is one of those things where I would say as a parent, this is the
quote vaccinal efforts. So we all need to just continue to not be silent. And, you know, a school board is not a medical official. A public health agency is not a medical official. So this whole construct of so in the interim, the key as a parent is your child's health is more important than any school system, and your child's future is more important than any school system. And this experimental gene-based injection, you know, God bless Dan, you heard what he's gone through. To vote with our voices, and we need to vote with our feet. And unfortunately, it's not easy, but that's where we find ourselves at the moment. And you know, as a father, unproven, it's dangerous. We've just whatever we can do is.
Thank you so much, Alpha Warrior. You were next. Would you like to go? And then we can go to game, tech politics, and then phenomenology. I know you've been trying to get back up.
Yeah, appreciate it. First things first, my original big account was suspended when I was live streaming a show with Dr. Sherry Tenpenny to Twitter. That's the ultimate axe. I've been getting a bunch of Twitter suspensions prior to that for election stuff, January 6th stuff, and then obviously COVID stuff. The other thing is that's in here, one of those being Dr. Drew, and he still operates within the rules of Big Pharma. To come out after all the information that's been laid out and say that the vaccination is still safe for some people, and followers that I have, you're going to praise the man for saying that? And I wasn't supposed to, but I listed 20 plus shows that I've done with Dr. Peter McCullough, Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, Dr. Michael Vicks, all these doctors that have been saying this stuff for a long the information, and not only told us, hey, this is what's wrong. Hey, go and take Dr. Ben Marble. They reached out and they gave me prescriptions, you know, to pharmacies. They got me the medications that I needed. These are the frontline warriors that now, because the big names are coming to the surface to be brave now, these people fall back into the shadows. They're the reason so many of us are alive right now. They're the reason so many of our kids are protected right now. They're the reason why so many of us have gotten the information. When I first started my podcast, it was with the intent of J6. But I remember when I got my first email from a lady who said that she tricked her husband into watching the show. And afterwards he said, I will not get vaccinated. That's one life saved. Why? Because of the people that taught me the information that I was able to share. So Ms. Vool, Spinks, Texas, you guys give these people an opportunity to use your platform and your voices to come up here, because I'll tell you incorrectly. She was 19 years old. She had Down syndrome and she was murdered through hospital protocols. Her dad, Scott, he'll come on in here, share his story. And not only will he share it, he has the receipts. He has, through attorneys and friends, they got it laid out, the medications that she was given, an unauthorized DNR that was given. And guess what? This was happening across the country. And when everybody was trying to bring it to the forefront, they were suspended. And here's the thing. We have an opportunity to bring those stories aren't old. They're unheard. If you're afraid to bring that content because of fear of losing your
over what is going down over there, and call get a little bit buggy when everyone comes up, and which is an issue because then everyone's kicked out. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate you inviting doctors who haven't had an opportunity, or maybe they have somewhere else, to come in and speak. The other thing is it's a little bit difficult until all of the doctors have their accounts back to give them proper credit when you can't even tag them. You can't invite them to speak from their own account because they're still suspended. So I think this is just an example, a small example of the opportunity that we have to give those doctors the platform and the voice that they deserve after being shut down. And it wasn't just doctors. Tracy up here, she was shut down. So many people have been shut down, their accounts gone, speak out because they've been shut down, shunned by their own colleagues, community, friends, whatever it may be, and Twitter and social media, and it's wrong on every level. So please invite them. And it is showing up unavailable, but I think if we retweet it or just tag Elon somehow, I really want to go to her after game.
Hey, thank you, Sphinx and Tara. I appreciate it for you letting me just speak again. So the doctors are probably the profession that has been hurt the most out of all of this because of the censorship. This is how we got here. We got some people in a lab creating a virus and releasing it on the world. And I'm not afraid to say that. Okay, I'm not afraid to say it. Some of all these other influencers might be afraid to say that, but I'm not. Now, Hunter Biden. Now, Fox News and all these other conservative outlets have been amplifying Hunter Biden's investments. They amplify the cobalt investment. They amplify the Chinese investment. They amplify the Ukraine investment, the Burisma, the oil. But why don't they amplify the Metabiota investment? Brilliant. Hunter Biden is a brilliant investor. So how in the heck Metabiota takes and tracks data on how viruses spread and then gives advice to all of these governments on how to maintain and control the virus. That's what Metabiota does. But they also their jobs started changing. If you go to the Department of Defense's website and you see Metabiota's contracts, their contracts start changing little by little. They're not only a data collection for viruses, they also transport viruses from lab to lab to lab. And get what we've learned. The government used PSYOPs, psychological operations, on. Why haven't we yet, Tara? And that's a rhetorical question.
You have to ask Kim.com to respond to my DMs specifically.
I know you've got like so much on your plate. I'm proud of you, by the way. But I'll sing my praises later on. But listen, guys, we've got to get to the bottom of who is doing this to us. Okay, the government is literally running a psychological operational and it's not just about COVID. It's not just about the elections. It's so much bigger than that, people. And they lied about the origins of COVID messaging, psyops. They lied to us about the origins of COVID. If they're going to lie to you about all I have to say, that's all I have to say. If you want to look Blue Canaries, there's a Twitter account called Blue Canaries. She's a remarkable researcher. Remarkable. Please follow her. Don't follow me. Follow her, because she takes the credit.
Tomorrow, he just set up the spaces to talk about the psychological warfare that's going on with the government and his involvement in history with the intel community and his knowledge of that and how it's being implemented. So I think it'll be a great conversation. It'll be taking questions from the public as well, and that'll be tomorrow night, 7:45 p.m. Central, either Central or Eastern. I don't know. I just
we can pin it up too, and I just pinned another one from Dr. Simone Gold, who's gonna be starting one with Matt in about 13 minutes. So I'll probably end this one then and jump over there to listen in. It's going to be huge, you guys, and the more the merrier, and the more we can spread this information and have doctors' voices be heard, the more it gets everywhere. But can you, Texas Lindsay, can you pin that to the top of the space, or I could pin your tweet?
I can grab it. I don't mind.
About the lab, about this escape, all of that. This was also it was something was going to happen for this type of player to develop, because this has always been a war on the freedom and what the United States stands for. You have to realize that they didn't take anything away from us. We have willingly giving it away. And it's really time for all of us to defend it. You know.
Were you trying to respond, or is Tracy speaking?
No, I'm not going to take the time. I'd like to hear from Silent Survivor, so I'll donate my time to them.
And Dr.
Thank
Kat,
you.
I'd like to connect with you because I publish a naturopathic medical journal. So I'm following you, and I'd just like to connect.
Great, thank you.
Hi there. I'll try to be quick. Hi, Dr. Lindley, Dr. Cole. And y'all, you know who this is, also known as misinformation on other platforms. You know, I got that name from supposedly doctors who were gaslighting me for telling my story, of my vaccine injury. I don't talk about it a lot, but I give space to other people to talk about theirs. But I'll share because I haven't shared yet here much. So I was coerced, and I had the one dose of Moderna. It's going to be 2 years coming up. And I had an immediate anaphylactic reaction where my throat swelled, my face went numb, my heart was racing, I broke out in hives. Reached out to NIH, and they had contacted me. They wanted me to come in and be in a study, but I'd have to get another. And at the time, they had found it in one participant who had had it before me and others, as far out as 8 months. In 60% of the monocytes. The last time I had mine tested, I still had it in about the study. I'll try to find it and post it. The group that did it out of California, they could not get the study published. And it was about both vaccine injury and anyway, I'm sorry if I'm rambling. I'm just trying to go quick, but thank you. There's 5 minutes left and I'll give my time. Thank you.
I just want to remind people to please follow Silent Survivor, as she does host amazing spaces. I had the honor to be able to go to one and ask another doctor a question yesterday, and she's giving voice to the people who need it, the people who are vaccine injured, and the other speakers and doctors up here who finally are back on Twitter. Please give them a follow. Please show them the support.
And I'm sure a lot of you guys up here feel the same way as me. This is a hill that I am planting my flag on. Or needs help and hasn't been getting anywhere.
Doctors actually disappearing. So this is so important to get this out there, but we can't forget that it's not just COVID.
Give her a follow if you're not already.